On behalf of KTL Business Insurance, I want to thank you for watching this episode. If you're a client of KTL Business Insurance and you want to be on the 5 Minute Mark podcast as a featured guest, contact your KTL Insurance agent today. Guess what? We've got another exciting episode here on the 5 Minute Mark podcast. Today, we've got an agency here in San Diego. Yes, somebody local. The last person was in Hong Kong, and today we're in San Diego. Our flight goes quick around the world. We've got Cheryl Pia here today from the Pia Agency, and she does video. And video, I'm telling you, everybody, this is the biggest thing going. Just came back from the Traffic Conversion Summit here in San Diego, and everybody's talking about edutainment video, authentic video, and we're gonna hear a lot about that here today from Cheryl. So Cheryl, say hello to everybody out there. How are you
everybody.
Doing? Yeah.
Hi.
And Cheryl was introduced to us to our sponsor, KTL Business Insurance, and she's a great client of theirs, and they're doing something really nice for their clients to share with them. So she's been nice enough to come on here today, and hopefully we'll give her some value, and she can give you some value too. So tell us about the agency and what it's all about.
So Pia is a creative agency. We're a content agency. We focus primarily on video. We do some broadcast work. Typically work with Fortune 100 brands and work with clients all over the world. Yeah.
So these Fortune 100s versus a lot of my people on my show are entrepreneurs, and they're just trying to get that Fortune 100 look and feel and so on and so forth. Do you have any suggestions maybe of where they could go to start to kind of get on that path?
I think it depends what their industry is. I think at the end of the day, for us, we've been in business for 20 years, so it's been all about relationships. You hear about networking, and I think networking is important, but networking in an authentic way, building relationships in an authentic way is really the best way you're going to get into any of the large brands, for sure. And because we've been in business for such a long time, we've really had a lot of opportunity to grow with our clients as they move up the ladder. We've moved up the ladder with them, and they've brought us in. So, we launched our company 20 years ago, and our first client was PepsiCo. And we worked with Pepsi for 15 years. And a lot of the executives that were there starting out as brand marketers, et cetera, have now moved up in the ranks and are now, several of them are CMOs of large companies, or very senior level marketers in large brands. So they typically take us with them.
That's a good thing, right?
Yeah, it's a great
thing. There was a TV show that one of the actors was a brand agency. I'm forgetting off the top of my head, but being part of a brand agency for big companies, I would almost see that's a lot to do. That's a lot to do. I was almost thinking God, it must be kind of fun to take on a small company, where you can kind of get things to move quicker, right? Because I'm sure at your level, it's much more complicated. There's much more rules and regulations and dissecting the people involved and so on and so forth. It just goes to level, which can probably be fun as well. But sometimes being on the lower levels, it might be fun too. You can kind of move things a little faster.
Yeah, I think that's true. It used to be the case that working with large brands, things moved very slowly. You had a lot of levels or a lot of layers of approvals. And it's now, because in marketing, you have to move very, very quickly, no matter what. It's really not as much of an issue as it used to be. We've worked with some startups and continue to work with some startups. And it is exciting to work with them because you see change. You can affect change very quickly. And, work in a lot of areas that you might not necessarily be allowed to when you're working with a large brand. But, for the most part, our brand marketers are really sophisticated, and it makes it easier for us in a lot of ways to work with marketers, in larger brands who are sophisticated, because they know exactly what they want, and it's easy to communicate. Doesn't mean it's not fun working with startups, and we love working with startups.
Oh, of course, yeah. And what's nice about too is you get to create the idea, and then you get to pitch it. And what's your favorite one you've ever pitched? Like a really cool idea that you've kind of changed the direction of the company because of it?
Let's see. You know what? The ideas that have a social impact and social implications are always my favorite. We actually just pitched something, I can't say for whom, but we just pitched a really huge idea that looks like we're going to be working on. It's shooting globally. It's really illustrating all of the excellent work that this company is out doing in the world. And for us, that's always the most gratifying. You know, we love selling product. I mean, obviously, that's our reason for being, but also really illustrating the importance of, let me go back with that. Okay. Really illustrating the good that a lot of these large brands are doing in the world is very near and dear to our hearts.
I've been around video marketing, website marketing my whole life. I've had a company, a sports agency that I created. I just loved doing just fun, out of the box things, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just so fun to get creative. And actually one of my favorite, I'm going to share this anyway. One of my favorite marketing, it wasn't video or anything like that, but it was a marketing tool I did. This is back when fax broadcasting was big. and I used to send out, 10,000 fax broadcasts. Now you can get put in jail for that. But, I would send a fax and I said, this is amazing. This is in big letters. It said, see page 2. And I never sent page 2. It was like
very clever.
Yeah, you have to be like that, right? You have to kind of leave them open end. And the funny thing is, the people that were pissed off calling saying "don't fax me" were saying you didn't send page 2. So like it was like a win-win situation. Like you could break the mold because you wanted to get the phones ringing, and they rang, and it was. I mean, my partner and I were just laughing. It almost happened on accident, I think, the first time, and then we were like, "This is a technique we can use." It was really really creative, and that thing, and that's some of the really cool stuff you have to kind of do these days. Is kind of like, I guess they call it tripwire, right? It's just tripping them into doing something that they didn't expect they were doing, and like all of a sudden they're in. Like you just so
absolutely,
it's really, really exciting. So you're here in San Diego and you've been doing it for 20 years. PepsiCo, I was sponsored by PepsiCo there as an athlete. So I love them. They actually used us as a marketing for the Mountain Dew brand.
We worked on lots of Mountain Dew.
Yeah, we'll have to talk later then. But we did a big campaign back east where they took us and they used us as a entertainment. We'd go around to the different distributors and do shows at like the Walmarts and different things like that on the bikes. And to this day, I still know the brand manager. He's not with them anymore. I think he's with Schweppes now or something, moved on over the years. But we always talk about that, how great that was. They created all the radio packages for us and the uniforms, and we got involved with Converse at the same time. And it was really, really fun. And it's just really great to be a part of these big packages. So video is changing. Do you have any tips for maybe people that would be looking to do video or anything they could start on? Because people are just afraid of it. They're really afraid of video, yet, the bandwidth is there now. Websites are almost obsolete anymore between you got Facebook, you got video, and then you've got, podcasts and different things like that. And then you've got, obviously the sale. So, I mean, getting people to go to the website is not even a big deal anymore. It's just get them to watch a video.
Right. Yeah. I think don't be afraid of video. I think that even video recorded like this is really powerful if you're communicating authentically. Yeah. If you're really being yourself, if you're telling the truth, people are interested in that. People want to know who they're doing business with. If it's a large Fortune 10 company or a company that's just starting out, everybody wants to know who they're doing business with. So using video is the best possible way for people to tell their story. And again, it's nothing to be afraid of. And it doesn't have to be really high production value. It depends. There's some real value in creating content just like this because, I'm obviously, where am I going with that? Hold on.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I just think that I have a professional camera and now I just rather use my iPhone.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Not only just for the fact that it actually now it shoots better probably than my $2,000 camera, but it just has that authentic feel, like you're saying, and like everything is going there and people are like, oh, I need to be professional and this and that. Well, professional is great, but professional bores people, so to speak, now.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that there's a time and a place for professionally produced content. I think there are some times that, your consumer is going to look at what you're doing and say, if this company can't even spend the money to talk about what they do in a really professional way, then there's some issues. But if you're just creating content for your site, if you're creating content for Facebook especially, or YouTube, Facebook's a huge platform, then I think it's absolutely fine to just use your iPhone or use your webcam. I mean, it's absolutely fine to do that. Yeah.
I mean, the quality's there. It's totally there.
Yeah, the quality's there.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. And so you've been in it 20 years. I mean, sometimes people get burned out. Where are you at? Are you just like finding this new leap and bound with the social media thing, or what?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're on fire. When we started out, we really primarily broadcast. Video was a bad word. We never used it. It kind of always had sort of a wedding video implication, like that's what we did. So we never used the V word. And over the years, obviously, that's changed dramatically, and content is king. So we're more excited than ever. We create a ton of digital content. We still occasionally do broadcasts, but almost all of our clients have shifted their marketing budget from broadcast to digital content. And so there's an endless need for content. The ways you use it, the platforms, the channels, the kinds of content that you're able to create are endless. And so we get to be creative every day. It's very exciting. And it's as video becomes even more important, we get more enthusiastic about it. There is no burning out on this. It's fun. It's just fun. We're all really lucky that we get to do this for a living.
And I see the smile come on your face. And I mean, what gets you up in the morning to what's the fun part of the day for you when is it going, is going and leading the team, or is it?
Yeah, I would say it's leading the team. We have an amazingly talented group of people that work here, an extremely diverse group of people that work here as well, I'm proud to say. And that's happened organically. We didn't set out to create such a diverse organization, but it's evolved organically, and it really helps us in everything that we do to be, I don't want to overuse authentic, but to really represent our clients and our clients' consumers in a realistic way. At the end of the day, we're a diverse population. So it's exciting for me to come in and work with this team. I have a lot of young people that work with me, and they're just wonderful. I don't buy into the millennials sort of paradigm, the millennials, story that people talk about. I have all millennials here, and they're really fantastic humans and delightful to work with. And they all work really hard. And maybe part of that is because our jobs are really fun.
Yeah. It's funny you're touching on the millennial thing, and I agree with you 100%. The last guest I just got finished with in Hong Kong, he's a millennial, and he's so much energy. He overcame, farmer drugs, and he had some major issues with that, and now he's just got so much. It was 2 a.m. in the morning there, and he's like jumping around. He's on his he's got one of those things that Tony Robbins has, that springboard thing.
The rebounder.
So he's on the rebounder, talking about this and that, and I've had this conversation with people before. It's like, they're not drinking, they're not doing drugs as much as people think. They're very sharp on their feet, and yes, they do rebel against a lot of what we did, the politically correct era we were in, and they just want different things. But if you let them let them grow, they're an amazing group of talent. It blows me away. I mean, it's like, I want to keep up with you, but they're just moving at a fast pace. They're quick, they're sharp, they know what's going on, because they are what's going on, right?
They are what's going on. And I think, millennials, one of the biggest drivers for millennials is really working in a company that creates a sense of purpose. And if they feel like they're coming to work and creating change and working for a company that cares not just about them, but cares about the world, I think you're going to have really dedicated, really involved, really dynamic workforce. And if you're a company that's either not talking your walk, saying that you're all of those things, it's going to be reflected in the enthusiasm that that your employees bring to work.
Yeah, I think we just came up with a new phrase together here is millennial is purpose. You know, they are purpose driven. They're very, very purpose driven people.
They are.
And you just kind of put it all together for me right there. Millennial is purpose. They're all purpose driven. And
they are.
And don't get in my way, you know, essentially is what they're saying. Or we'll rebel, you know. They're just all out purpose, and that is really good. I mean, there is positive in this, and we've been wondering, you know, in the last couple of years we've been seeing it, but for a while people have been scared, like the older people, like these millennials, and now they're showing up, and why? Yeah. So
they are. You know, it's interesting. I just read an article somebody posted on LinkedIn. It was so well written, and they were saying, you know, that basically just that millennials need to come to work in a place that they feel there's a sense of purpose and that they're making a difference in the world. And it was interesting, the comments on the LinkedIn article, you could tell what generation the people were that were responding. Yeah. And most people were saying, yes, absolutely, we support this, we believe in this, doesn't it make sense? And then there were a few kind of cranky people who were saying, and my guess, probably my generation, saying, you know, that that this is all about the bottom line, that we shouldn't care how they feel about coming to work, that this is a business. And my argument against that is, it's a business. It's good for the bottom line to have a purpose. It's good for retention to have a purpose. It's good for the soul to have a purpose. And I think we all need that. And you know, looking at it so cynically it's not gonna serve anybody. No. It's not gonna serve anybody, and it's not gonna serve your business. I can tell you that right now.
No. And you know, it's funny because when you let them go, I mean, you see it all over the place. When they're doing something, it turns into millions instantly. Like they don't go from like, you know, a few $1,000 here or there. They go right to the top with it, right? It happens a lot. You hear, I mean, I'm around them a lot because I'm in the online marketing and so on and so forth. They go from zero to hero, like they skip the middle part, you know, because they found the purpose and it relates big time. Yeah. And probably that's a lot of what you probably sell in your company is, you know, understanding purpose and the word authentic. We don't want to overuse it here, but it is. It's a nice word to be able to say now. That's like, finally, you know, I can be me. And we see it in Hollywood now. I mean, when we grew up in the 80s, it was the Farrah Fawcett's and the slim, strong guys. And now it's like the overweight, heavy guy with the bald hair that's making all the money, right? I mean, you got all those guys, right? And they just took over because they're so real. Like, I can relate to this guy. I can relate to this guy. Even in golf, I had John Daly as, you know, he's fat, overweight, swings awful and drinks a beer on the court, you know, but he had such a big following and that was against all the rules of golf, as golf is, you know, proper and, you know, this and this and this. But it's like these people just catapult, right? And it's telling us something. It's really, really exciting. This is awesome. I'm really so excited that you came on the show. We had a great conversation. If people want to understand more about your company or maybe gain interest, or maybe, I don't even know if you have even room for clients right now because you're probably so busy, but this is your chance to kind of talk about your company and maybe where people can express a phone call with you or something. How do I get a hold of you?
Yeah, so if people are interested in finding out a little bit more about PIA, they can come to our website. I think that's a great place to start, which is www.thepiaagency.com.
You're using www? Come on.
I don't. See, that's my oldness, right? There we go. That's how old I am.
www.http.
Yes. No. Let's say that all over again. Okay, they can come to our website, thepiaagency.com, or they can give us a call at 760-930-9244. And we love to talk to new people.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I remember you making marketing materials and you put HTTP
Right.
I don't want this www there anymore.
No, I don't even know if we use it. I actually just made that up.
I know. We're showing our age here,
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Totally dated myself.
Totally awesome. Well, thank you for coming on the show and sharing with us here today. And I also want to thank KTL for having you on here today. This is great. I love taking on people and just learning about them on the show, not before the show. And I get to learn about your age. I'd maybe sometimes come up there and visit and say hello. It'd be great.
That'd be great.
Are you in Carlsbad or where are you?
Carlsbad.
Okay, yeah. That area is growing really nicely too as well.
Yeah.
So awesome. Any last words you want to share with the world?
Thanks, KTL. I don't know.
Top secret.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No.
Cheryl, thank you for coming on. And listeners, I hope you learned something today. We talked about videos. It's important to be authentic in your videos. It's important to have a good agency like Pia behind you to create great concepts. And it's all about change and purpose now. It's all about sharing nothing to do with work sometimes that creates business. That's what I do here at the 5 Minute Bark. Is I think of authentic social marketing is learn who you are and I'll buy from you, So
yeah,
it's
absolutely right.
Yeah,
absolutely right.
Because so many people didn't trust anybody in the last few years, and now we have a platforms that you can learn to be trusted. So
yeah,
awesome.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
This is it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And 5 Minute Bark listeners out there, keep coming on. We appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe on our iTunes at the podcast app on your phone. And you can find us on YouTube as well under 5 Minute Bark. Love you to subscribe there as well. Thank you for watching. And Cheryl, thank you for coming on.
Thanks, Dennis.
You're watching the 5 Minute Bark podcast on YouTube. If you like this episode, you just may like many more. Subscribe today by clicking the red subscribe button in the top right-hand corner.